refraction. First of all, there are some laws of refraction which says that ratio of velocity of light in rarer medium upon ratio of light in denser medium is known as reference index. First is, this is an air medium and this is glass. This is known as mu1, this is mu2. Incident rays and refracted rays and normal both lie in the same plane. Incident ray, refracted ray lie on the opposite side of normal. Correct? See, they are lying on the opposite side of normal. Now let us come back to our working process. First is, you have to write down the assumptions. I don't have space that much, so I am going to begin. First, what happens is, incident ray from A reaches to A dash and from B it reaches to B dash, where this A dash and B dash both are incident rays. It gets transmitted on the reflecting surface, which is XY. There are two separate media, air and glass. This is air and glass, and ray is passed through the glass. There will be some amount of refracted rays. What will happen is, at A dash there will be construction of a plane wavefront, and we will get a small hemisphere to which this line, this is known as tangent to the hemisphere, which will have radius ct, velocity c, and light travels in time t, so ct. Then refracted, this is ct, so this will be c1t. At the same time, light reaches from A to A dash. Light will reach from B to P and P to B dash, and then forward B dash to R dash, where this A dash R and B dash R both are A dash R and B dash R dash are both are our refracted rays. That's it. That where P dash is C1t and A dash R is C2t. Let us derive now. First of all, we will do proof. A dash M, this angle. Angle A dash M plus angle M A dash P is nothing but 90. Agreed? And angle M A dash P and angle P A dash B dash is again 90. Let us take it as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2. From 1 and 2, we get that angle A dash M. A dash M is nothing but I, and P A dash B dash is nothing but I. This both is I. So we will write angle A dash M is equals to angle P A dash B dash is nothing but I. Then angle N A dash R, this angle, and angle N dash P dash R dash, this angle both are R. So we will write down here N A dash R is equals to angle N dash B dash R is nothing but R. Also we have N dash B dash and R dash, and N dash, we have that N dash B dash and R dash, and A dash B dash and R both are 90 degree. if we add n dash, b dash and r dash plus angle a dash, b dash, r dash, n dash, b dash and r dash plus n dash, b dash and r is nothing but 90. Let us take it as equation number 3 and 4. N dash, b dash and r dash, n dash, b dash and r. This is also 90. From 3 and 4 we get, if this is equal to this and this is equal to this, that means they both are equal to each other. So that means angle n dash, b dash, r is equal to angle a dash, b dash, r dash, which is equal to r. We know that already. Then we will take in triangle a dash, b dash. This triangle a dash, p and b. This is a dash, p and b dash. We have here, it is nothing but I. So sin I would be, you know that it is opposite upon hypotenuse. So what is opposite? PB dash. And what is hypotenuse? A dash, B dash. What is PB dash? It is C1T. This is A dash, B dash. Let us take it as equation number 5. Then in triangle A dash, R, B dash. This A dash, R, B dash. It is nothing but R here. So what would be sin R? It will be A dash R upon A dash B dash. What is A dash R? C2T. C2T. And this is A dash B dash. Equation number 6. What we will do now? We will divide 5 and 6. We get sin I upon sin R is equals to C1T upon A dash B dash into A dash B dash upon C2T. This both gets cancelled and T and T also gets cancelled. We get C1 upon C2. Sin I upon sin R. Right travelling in first medium, which is this is mu2 and this is mu1, which we can together write mu2 1. So where this is nothing but refractive index of glass with respect to air. Polarization and concept of polarization considering transverse wave on a rope. We will take a rope and we will do a short experiment on it relating to polarization. It says that the phenomenon of restriction of the vibration of light waves in a particular plane perpendicular to direction of wave motion is called polarization of light. That means if I transmit a light in this direction, it will be restricted, the vibration of light wave would be restricted in this direction only. It wouldn't cross over my path. That means it listens to what I say. Then here you are given with an example of a rope tied to a rigid support and there are two slits S1 and S2. In first scenario, what will happen is we have kept two slits both in same direction. See, they are both standing in 90-degree direction to the rope. When I give a jerk up and down, and there will be formation of transverse wave and it will successfully pass from the slit S1 to slit S2. There is no problem. But in scene 2 what happens? Now I will change the direction of slit S2 and I will make it perpendicular to slit S1. What will happen if I jerk again? the slit S1 will successfully pass on the transverse waves, but slit S2 won't allow the transverse wave to pass through it. So that means the wave was restricted based on the direction of the slits, correct? That is what we can make out from this plane polarized light. These are three basic definitions given to you based on this diagram given to you. See, first is the light. What is the light called? The light is called plane polarized light. It means, it says that I will only travel in one plane only in which I am set and in which direction I am projected to. So that is known as plane polarized light. What is plane of vibration then? Plane of vibration is the plane in which the vibration of the light will take place. Then what is plane of polarization? Plane of polarization is the plane which is perpendicular to plane of vibration where there are no vibration of the light. So it is located outside of this tourmaline crystal. Simple examples and definition. It states that the tangent of polarizing angle is equal to refractive index of the refractive medium at which partial reflection takes place. It means tangent tan IP is equal to mu. What does that mean? See, first is XY is a reflecting surface, AB is ordinary light, BD is partially polarized or unpolarized light, BC is reflected plane polarized light, angle ABN is incident unpolarized angle, that's why IP, angle NBC is reflected polarized angle, that means R, angle ABN is incident polarizing angle. Let us first derive. From laws of reflection, we know that angle ABN is equal to angle NBC and ABN. So that means IP is equal to R. Let us take the equation number 1. Also we know as angle CBD is equal to 90 degree. This angle CBD 90 degree. It was first only given. Then what is angle CBD comprised of? Angle CBY and angle YDD. That is nothing but RP plus R, which is 90 degree. What is R? From the figure we know that IP plus 90 plus RP. IP plus 90, this much, and plus RP. This is all. This all is known as 180 degree. That means IP plus 90 plus RP is nothing but 180 degree. That means value of RP would be 180 minus 90 is 90. So 90 degree minus RP, equation number 2. From Snell's law, we know that sin IP upon sin RP is nothing but mu. But here what is RP? 90 minus RP, which is mu. From 3 we got that. Then what is sin 90 minus theta? It is cos theta. So this is sin. It says that the frequency change of light waves when there is relative motion between source of light and observer is called Doppler's effect. So that means the frequency of light waves change when there is movement of light, movement between light and observer. Distance increase or decreases. So see, first is here there are two examples. This is example of sound, and the below image is of light. You have to take the second one as example. See, first of all, if the observer is standing here, right here, what will happen? There is a distance or wavelength of light lambda between source and observer. But what if the observer is standing here? There is again some wavelength between the source and the observer. However, the place where it was standing at first position, the distance between the source and the observer was less. Wavelength would be intense. The apparent frequency of light which is seen by observer can be written as upon C plus minus V upon C minus plus V. Let us take it as equation number 1, where this is the actual frequency and this is the frequency observed by the observer. Okay, so what will happen? What if the velocity is very slower than speed of light in vacuum? What will happen to our equation? Our equation will become one plus minus V by C. Then what we will do? We will take this here and subtract. It will become plus minus VC, binomial expression. We are multiplying in both the sides. What we will get? Taking this in denominator, plus minus V by C. What is V? This will become delta. This will become as it is, plus minus V by C. That is what our equation says in Doppler equation. Red shift and blue shift. Red shift is the shift. See, first is the red shift. This is a shift where the frequency of light is said to be decreasing and wavelength is said to be increasing. Okay, whereas therefore the spectral line gets displayed towards the red end and the color appears red to the observer. Then in blue shift, what happens is frequency of light is said to be increasing, vice versa of red shift, and wavelength is said to be decreasing, and so the light appears to be blue to the observer. That is